The FIFA World Cup is the biggest stage in football, and Cristiano Ronaldo's journey in this tournament has been packed with unforgettable highs and frustrating lows.
I've in red in the middle. Ronaldo! A farewell may be approaching, but the legend is not finished yet.
Every World Cup has shown a different version of him. First, there was the fearless young winger blowing past defenders with pure speed and skill. Then came the unstoppable goal machine who seemed to score whenever Portugal needed him. Now the story has become about a veteran chasing one more special moment while battling against time itself.
He negatively impacts on the rest of the players in terms of what they have to give because they feel they've got to pass through, they've got to.
Whether he scores or goes quiet, Ronaldo always becomes the center of the conversation. To millions of fans, he's the greatest goal scorer and one of the greatest players the game has ever seen. Others believe he's simply refusing to step away from the spotlight. At 41 years old, Ronaldo obviously isn't the unstoppable force he was during his peak years.
This loop up for Ronaldo! He's always there, trying to keep doubting him. He keeps on coming back.
His move to Saudi Arabia only gave critics even more reasons to question whether he could still lead Portugal's attack, especially with so many younger stars waiting for bigger roles. For a short time, Portugal's Nations League victory quieted a lot of those doubts. Ronaldo stepped up when it mattered most, scoring several huge goals, including one in the final. But football moves fast, and the criticism came right back after Portugal's opening World Cup match against the Democratic Republic of Congo. Ronaldo stayed on the pitch for the full 90 minutes, but he barely managed to influence the game. He looked completely cut off from the rest of the attack. Ronaldo finished with only 25 touches, the fewest he'd ever recorded while playing an entire match in a major international tournament. He missed a couple of good opportunities, couldn't get a shot on target, and struggled to leave any real mark as Portugal settled for a frustrating 1-1 draw. Because he's the biggest name on the team, the reaction online exploded almost instantly. Social media filled with criticism from every direction. Even I made a video about it. For a few days, it felt like the exact same debate from the 2022 World Cup and the 2024 Euros had returned. People were asking the same question once again. Was Ronaldo finally reaching the end? Then came Uzbekistan. With the pressure building, Portugal manager Roberto Martinez made a few important adjustments. João Felix came into the starting 11. Ruben Dias returned after recovering, and Portugal immediately looked far more comfortable from the opening whistle. Just 6 minutes into the match, Ronaldo delivered the perfect response to everyone questioning him. From that point, Portugal completely controlled the game. Nuno Mendes doubled the lead before Ronaldo struck again just before halftime, giving Portugal a comfortable 3-goal advantage. Only days after one of the toughest performances of his World Cup career, he answered with one of his strongest displays on football's biggest stage. When the final whistle blew, Ronaldo had scored twice, fired 7 shots, forced 6 saves on target, and produced an outstanding all-around performance. More importantly, those 2 goals placed him in the history books once again. He reached 10 World Cup goals, moving ahead of the legendary Eusebio to become Portugal's all-time leading scorer in World Cup history. It's incredible to think how far he's come since I first watched him back at the 2006 World Cup. Germany 2006 was the first time football fans across the world truly saw Cristiano Ronaldo perform on the biggest stage. At only 21 years old, he was fearless, explosive, full of tricks, and played with the confidence of someone who believed he could beat any defender one-on-one. Portugal were in the middle of a changing generation. Veterans like Luis Figo, Deco, and Pauleta were still leading the squad, but it was becoming more obvious with every game that Ronaldo was the future of Portuguese football. Under manager Luis Felipe Scolari, Ronaldo had the freedom to attack defenders without fear. His pace, quick feet, and direct style constantly caused problems down the wings. He scored his first ever World Cup goal during the group stage against Iran, calmly converting a penalty as Portugal secured a comfortable 2-0 victory. Portugal moved through the group before surviving one of the wildest knockout matches in World Cup history against the Netherlands. The game became famous as the Battle of Nuremberg because of the endless fouls, arguments, and cards shown throughout the match. Ronaldo was forced off with an injury after a heavy challenge and left the field in tears, but Portugal still found a way to advance. That victory set up a massive quarterfinal against England. After 120 tense minutes finished scoreless, the match headed to penalties. Goalkeeper Ricardo became Portugal's hero by saving 3 English penalties and giving his teammates an incredible chance to reach the semifinals. Then the pressure landed on young Ronaldo. With the decisive penalty waiting, he stayed completely calm, smashed the ball into the corner, and sprinted away celebrating as Portugal reached their first World Cup semifinal in 4 decades. That moment showed the football world something important. Ronaldo never hid from pressure, especially when everything was on the line. Big moments seemed to bring out the best in him, and when penalties came around, he wanted the responsibility. Still, the moment most people remember from Ronaldo's 2006 World Cup wasn't the winning penalty. It was the famous wink. During the quarterfinal against England, Ronaldo's Manchester United teammate Wayne Rooney was sent off after an incident involving Ricardo Carvalho. Ronaldo appealed to the referee, who showed Rooney a straight red card. Moments later, television cameras caught Ronaldo giving a quick wink toward the Portuguese bench. That single image caused an enormous reaction across England. Newspapers, television shows, and fans all jumped on the story. Many headlines accused Ronaldo of betraying his own club teammate, while others claimed his partnership with Rooney at Manchester United would never recover. Almost overnight, Ronaldo became one of the most disliked footballers in England. Every touch, every celebration, and every mistake was suddenly placed under a microscope. By the time the 2010 World Cup arrived, Cristiano Ronaldo had become the biggest superstar in football. After completing his record-breaking move to Real Madrid, he entered the tournament carrying massive expectations from an entire country. He had also been handed the captain's armband by Portugal manager Carlos Queiroz, making him the clear leader of a squad still trying to rebuild. With that honor came huge pressure. Portugal had fought hard just to qualify, and once the tournament started in South Africa, Queiroz chose an extremely cautious tactical approach. The team stayed organized, defended well, and collected clean sheets against Ivory Coast, North Korea, and Brazil. The problem was going forward. Portugal struggled badly to create chances, leaving Ronaldo isolated against multiple defenders almost every game. He often had very little support around him and was expected to create something out of nothing. Portugal only scored freely in one match, their famous 7-0 win over North Korea, before eventually being eliminated by the future champions, Spain, in the round of 16. Ronaldo's biggest moment in the 2010 World Cup came against North Korea. Here's a fun fact. Before that match, he hadn't scored for Portugal in over 16 months. Then, in the 87th minute, he finally ended the drought with one of the strangest goals of his career. The ball bounced awkwardly, somehow stayed with him, and he managed to finish it off. It wasn't pretty, but it counted. Even though Portugal struggled as a team, Ronaldo still stood out. He was named Man of the Match in all 3 group stage games. But the tournament ended on a sour note after Portugal's 1-0 loss to Spain in the round of 16. When reporters asked why Portugal had been knocked out, Ronaldo simply replied, "Ask Carlos Queiroz." That short answer became one of the biggest headlines after their exit. The 2014 World Cup looked like it would be Ronaldo's moment. He came into Brazil after winning his second Ballon d'Or and helping Real Madrid lift La Decima. Everything pointed toward a huge tournament, but there was one major problem. He was battling serious injuries. Ronaldo played through knee and thigh issues because missing a World Cup was never an option. From the opening match, it was clear he wasn't fully fit. Portugal were beaten 4-0 by Germany, and despite his efforts, he couldn't carry the team on his own. Against the United States, though, Ronaldo produced one unforgettable moment. Deep into stoppage time, he delivered a perfect cross for Silvestre Varela to score a dramatic 95th-minute equalizer and keep Portugal alive. He also scored against Ghana in the final group game, but Portugal still went out on goal difference. The biggest story of 2014 wasn't tactics, it was how injuries prevented Ronaldo from playing at his best. If 2014 was about fighting injuries, then 2018 was about pure goals. Ronaldo arrived in Russia in incredible form after winning 5 Champions League titles and helping Portugal win Euro 2016. He exploded into the tournament with an unforgettable hat-trick against Spain in a thrilling 3-3 draw, then followed it up by scoring the winner against Morocco. 4 goals in 2 games had everyone believing Portugal could go far. His only setback came against Iran, where Alireza Berenvand saved his penalty. That result left Portugal facing Uruguay in the round of 16. Uruguay's defense, led by Diego Godin and Jose Maria Giménez, kept Ronaldo quiet, while Edinson Cavani scored twice to eliminate Portugal. Even with the early exit, Ronaldo finished with 4 goals and proved once again that Portugal relied heavily on him. Then came the unforgettable 2022 World Cup in Qatar. Before the tournament even started, Ronaldo was already under massive pressure after his highly publicized split with Manchester United. Questions surrounded whether he should still be Portugal's main striker. He made history by scoring a penalty against Ghana, becoming the first men's player ever to score in 5 different World Cups. But after that, his performances became much more difficult. Fernando Santos made one of the boldest decisions in Portugal's history by dropping Ronaldo to the bench for the round of 16 against Switzerland. Goncalo Ramos replaced him and scored a hat-trick as Portugal won 6-1, leading everyone to ask, was Portugal better without Ronaldo? That debate continued into the quarterfinal against Morocco. Ronaldo came off the bench in the second half, but Portugal couldn't find an equalizer. Morocco held on for a famous 1-0 win, ending Portugal's World Cup dream. As the final whistle blew, Ronaldo walked down the tunnel in tears. It was one of the most emotional moments of his career and seemed to signal the end of his dream of winning the World Cup. Now, as Ronaldo continues what is likely his final World Cup journey, his legacy is already secure. Across 6 different World Cups, he's reinvented himself time after time, staying at the top while football continued to change around him. Maybe this story ends with the trophy he's chased his entire career. Maybe it doesn't. Either way, Cristiano Ronaldo has already cemented his place as one of the greatest players the World Cup has ever seen. If you want to see just how strong this Portugal squad really is around Ronaldo, click on the video on your screen right now. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to like, subscribe, and share it with your friends. Drop your thoughts in the comments below. Do you think this is Ronaldo's last World Cup, and where does he rank among the greatest players ever? Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.